Hey everybody out in the YouTube world, Kirk Voclain here again, just saying hi and saying with another little tip, little photography trick. Some of these things that I do, I've done over the years, it's just so subtle and so subconscious. I frankly don't even think about it until you put it out there and you make a video about it, and then it causes people to think. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is facial analysis, what you should be doing while you're talking to the client. They may think you're just talking to them and getting to know them, but what you're really doing is you're measuring their face visually. You're looking at eye shapes, distances from the nose to the ear, all sorts of things. So I made this little video. I hope you enjoy it. It's of my daughter. I made it a couple of years ago, but it's still relevant to this day. Enjoy the video. This is my daughter Scarlett, and this is me. Okay, so the question has been asked about facial analysis. What's my steps? What is my process? I'm going back behind the camera, zoom in on Scarlett's face so that you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So I want you to take real careful note. She is on purpose flat lit. No highlights and shadows, just real flat on the face. Now Scarlett, I want you to stay looking straight at the camera. Oh yes, how about this jerky video? No extra charge. I'm gonna focus to make sure it's all in focus. Right there. I guess that's pretty focused. All right, now I want you to take note of the very subtle differences between the left side of her face and the right side of her face. If you notice, if you look real careful, like she's holding as still as possible and looking straight on at the camera, the distance from the middle of her nose to the left side of her ear, as you're looking at it, not her left, but as you're looking at it, is slightly narrower than the right side of her face. Now Scarlett, how old are you?
21.
21 years old. And at 21 years old, it already starts to manifest itself. She sleeps, most probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but Scarlett, you sleep on this side of your body. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you're probably like, wait, how did he know that? Okay. Well, I know that because what happens over time, when you sleep on one side, you spend half your life laying in a bed, and if you sleep on one side over the other side, you begin to mush your face like this, from this side to this side. So this side becomes more narrow than this side. Funny, huh? Okay? And as a result, one side of the face is actually more narrow than the other side. Now, if you look at her, you can see it's very subtle, but it's there. Now, as photographers, if we pose her like this, and we take the picture here, we're shooting straight into the wide part of her face, making her appear bigger than she really is. As opposed to if we photograph her this way, photographing into the more narrow part of her face, then we're making her look smaller than she really is. So that's just one of the things I do when it comes to facial analysis with a subject. I look at things like that. Now, go back to straight on Scarlett. Let me make sure it's still looking the way it's looking. Yes, if you notice, Scarlett kind of has a little, looks like the right eye goes a little higher than the left eye, so she's kind of cocked a little bit. All right, so I'm going to try to even that out, and all of this begins to happen totally subconsciously. I'm going to tip her just ever so slightly like that, and as a result, it evens that out. Well, I think I went too far. Come up right there. So that evens that out a little bit. And so those are just a few of the things I do. I'm looking for symmetry. It's all about symmetry. As even as possible, and making everything, the distance from the eyes to the mouth, from the nose to the outside parts of the face, whether the ears line up, the openings, the physical openings of each eye. For example, she doesn't really have this problem that I'm noticing, but if this eye was a little more squinky than that eye, then the thing about whatever's closest to the camera is bigger, and what is further away from the camera becomes smaller. If this eye was a little more squinky, then I would try to force always shooting into that squinkier eye, because it would make it ever so slightly, we're talking millimeters here, bigger than the other eye. So those are just a few of the things. Hopefully this helps you, and hopefully this helps you make your photography even better. I sure hope y'all enjoyed that. I appreciate you being here. Subscribe, click the little follow to my page, and I really appreciate it, and I promise you I got more tips and more tricks to come. Thanks for following me.